Welcome back, tribe. So let me give you what I knew the definition of the foster care system to be and what I just researched. I Google to find out what the definition of foster care is. What is their intention? So it says foster care is a temporary living situation for children whose parents cannot take care of them. While in foster care, children may live with relatives, foster families, or in group facilities. The goal is to provide for the children until they can safely reunite with their families. So that was the original goal of foster care, to take children from a situation that wasn't safe or good for a child and put them in an environment that was healthy where they get what they need and all of this other stuff. Eventually, they will go back to their families. That was the goal. It says what they're supposed to do. So in the system, they're supposed to provide love, support, food, shelter, clothing, transportation, and medical, behavior, and dental. As they transition into independence, they encounter various challenges. So this is why they need support and resources to help guide them towards stability and success. Foster youth can leave the system through reunification with their parents, adoption, guardianship, and aging out of the system. Federal laws require child welfare agencies to assist and support youth exiting foster care to develop a transition plan. They are supposed to help you develop a transition plan. Okay? My personal experience and the experiences of the people that I know that left the system, that right there that I just read was not what happened. And we were basically, for me, my situation was that my sister was able to take me into her home. She went, she picked me up, signed some papers. They gave her my check, the money that I saved in foster care, and they gave her me. And then once I got there, it was just like, that was it. Good luck to y'all. See you later. They never came in to check. There wasn't a period where a caseworker would stop in and see how things was going, seeing if I was in school, seeing if I needed anything, was there anything that they can do. There was no sit down with my sister and myself to just ease into the transition. It was just like one day I had to leave the place where I was. She was able to take me. They gave me to her, and that was it. For other people that I know, they gave them a token and a trash bag of their things, and they said, good luck to you, and let them be. Other people ran away. They weren't looked for. They weren't reported runaways. They just let them run away, and basically they washed their hands of it. There is a program here in Texas that I would like to share with you guys. And before I share that program, these are some of the other numbers that I found alarming. So it says foster children are more vulnerable and at a higher risk in America. That's for homelessness, for trafficking, and for I forgot what the other one was, but for homelessness and human trafficking, that's what that's for. They're more vulnerable. 1 in 4 won't graduate high school or get their GED. At the time this was written, it was 20% would become homeless. 60% would get convicted of a crime. 50% will have no income. The rest will have little income. And only 3% will go on to get a bachelor's degree. That's what I found online. So if you're in Texas, I don't know about Philadelphia. That's where I'm from. PA. I don't know about those things. But if you're in Texas, you can call 211 and ask them for foster youth to Independence Voucher Program. And so what they do is they help children that are about to become homeless or are homeless when they transition from foster care to being back in the world, like with their families or by themselves, that sort of thing. You can call 211 and ask for the FYI program, and that is for them to help you out with housing. And in that research of, let me see what I can find out to help foster children, young adults that aged out, there wasn't much. But their site had gave some numbers that really bothered me as well, because this one is homelessness for youth that transition from the foster care system. Pennsylvania and Texas being high at 30% to 39% will be homeless. 20 to 29 won't use the FYI program. So this is housing assistance is supposed to use the money for children who need a home or a place to stay, like they need housing assistance from foster care transitioning, right? Well, 20 to 29% in Pennsylvania and Texas do not use it. I don't know if that's the housing program doesn't use it or people don't know about it, so they don't ask about it, but it's not being used. Tens of thousands of youth will exit foster care over the next few years. And that's 3,000 to 4,000 in Texas and Pennsylvania that will exit out of foster care. That's a lot of children leaving foster care and a lot of them becoming homeless. Now, mind you, the reason why I'm reading this is because this is the words of people who researched it. They wrote about it, posted it online. So I'm getting this stuff and I'm reading it because I need you guys that are listening in to understand that it is not easy for a foster child to leave the foster care system and then go rely on themselves or their families when the families that they're going back to half the time is not the family they remember. And some of their family members still have some of the same issues that they were dealing with. It is difficult sometimes to reconnect with your family members when it's different personalities and it's different behavioral issues and you don't know how to deal with things and y'all don't know how to communicate and you get kicked out of your house. Like those things then lead to these children, these young adults having to figure it out on their own. A lot of us don't have a stable education, so we didn't know that we were not mentally retarded like they told me. It was just, I needed more practice. I needed to work harder. I wasn't dumb. I just needed more assistance or I needed to learn. And I didn't get an education. I went from school to school. We weren't taught about life and why it is important to save. And although we did work the weekend job with the family, it was like we didn't really know why we were doing it. I just didn't want to be in the house. We lived around farmlands and nobody outside really, and it was nothing to do in border town. So we went to work to have something to do, and it was nice to have your own money. But once you left there, other homes weren't the same. I didn't work all the time in those foster homes. So, I was a kid being told what to do. I didn't use my voice. I didn't speak up for myself. I had no idea that the real world or outside of foster care was not like foster care. So I just need someone who's listening to just know that a lot of foster kids need help. Young adults coming out 18, although by law you're grown, 18 is not grown. You're not an adult mentally because you're 18 and now you're going to know how to do everything on your own. That's not how it works. Every year, 26,000 former foster youth become too old to receive foster care related services nationwide. In California, it's over 4,000 annually. And unfortunately, the outcome for most of this population are far from ideal. By the time former foster youth turn 24, they are less likely than their peers to be employed. This is crazy. And they earn less money overall. Compared to their peers, former foster youth are more likely to end up in prison. 1 in 5 former foster youth nationwide are homeless at the age of 18. 70% of female former foster youth are pregnant by their 21st birthday. Under 3% of the former foster youth go to obtain a college degree. Only 3% go on to college and obtain a degree. This is sad. I was having dinner and they began telling me what's going on in the system today, and many kids are put in hotels because they don't have families. There's no supervision in these hotels. They don't watch to see if they go to school. They don't know what these kids are doing. And I find it to be crazy. The kids are being put in these hotels, and I guarantee they're not like 5-star hotels. So who knows what the living conditions are. But these are kids being taken from their families to then being put in situations where it is not ideal for a child to be in. They're not being supervised. And I know as a child who's hurting, you seek to numb the pain. As a child who thinks they're grown and is going to do what they're going to do, you fall into the wrong hands. And that's how you fall into the wrong hands of a man who's older or a woman that's older who can get you to do things. You tend to, although you have trust issues, you tend to not really care about your life sometimes being in the system because nobody really cares about you. And so when I heard this, I was at a loss for words. There's not enough parents or foster homes. There's not enough placement for these kids. They're not being supervised. We need to do better. So what can we do to help? And if you are in the system, if you're a foster parent, if you're a foster child, if you're a caseworker, please email me, speak up. What do you need? What can we do? And if you have an organization, if you know of an organization, if you know of assistance that can help children coming out of the system, please let me know. You can put it in the comments. You can email me. The email's on my YouTube channel. You can email me and let me know what is out there for these kids, what can help them, what they can benefit from. Because not only, and I understand there's probably somebody listening that says, well, kids are not easy to deal with. I get it. I was one too. I was angry. You know, there was things that I didn't understand. So I get it. You know, a child, you know, if they don't want to talk in therapy, they're not going to get anywhere with it. I understand that. But when my main focus right now are these children that are being reunified with their family or aging out. I would love to see something different happen that can help them out be successful in being successful. So my last video, I said, why not allow them, like that one description that they're supposed to have a plan in place for the children aging out. Why not have that? Why not really do it? Have a plan in place. Allow them to understand their options, people they can reach out to, give them medical that will last for however many years so that they go to therapy and they can receive the help that they need, or any place that receives their medical, they can go and get the help they need from that, or whatever the case may be. Just having that communication with that young adult that's about to age out, letting them know before their 18th birthday, and or doing independent living, having them understand that they need a job, they have to be active in finding a job, and then they can receive assistance when their 18th birthday comes. They can receive assistance, or when they're 16, having them work, save a portion of the money, and then when they leave, they have that money for a down payment for a house, or or whatever the case may be. Or if they go back to their families, then they can take that money with them, and it needs to be put in an account for just for that child. My money was given to my sister, and I don't care what her reason was for using it. It wasn't right. It was my money, and I didn't get to have that money once I left foster care. And it sucked because I worked hard for that money. So making it where the child has their own account, when they turn a certain age, they can touch it, or if they're using it for housing, that sort of thing, or saving a little bit of that money that y'all give the foster parents, putting it in an account for the child in the system, and then when they turn 21, they can receive the money for whatever they need help for, whether it be a car, whether it be a house, whether it be clothes or food. They can use it. If you want to set it up where they have to show receipts, then make them show receipts. But we just need to, foster children need to understand, if there is assistance out there for them, then please let us know so that we can share the information, or let them know so that they can be aware that there are assistance and there are programs in place for them. Because everybody that I talk to, they seem to think that there's no assistance once you leave foster care. And from my experience, there was no help. From the experiences of my sisters and brothers and friends who left the system, it was they give you a token, they give you a bag, and you're gone. That's it. If it's different in 2025, I would love to be wrong, and I would love to know. So please reach out and let me know. Until next time, you guys, I greatly appreciate you listening in, tuning in. If you feel led, if there's somebody that can benefit from the information, please share it with them. And I hope and pray that you really, truly understand that you are loved, that you are loved, that you are worth all of the blessings that come your way, that you don't deserve abuse, that you were not created to be miserable. You were created to live a blessed life. And we have the ability to live our own lives and to walk our own paths and make life the way we desire it to be. When you're an adult, you have that option. You don't have to accept what they said in the past. You have the option to say, you know what? That's not for me. That's not who I am. This is who I want to be. This is what I want in my life. I always say our thoughts attract, our words create, and our actions will cultivate the life that we live. So just believe that you are worth all the blessings, that you are worth anything that's going to happen that's great in your life, that you deserve the good things that are coming, that you don't have to be miserable and sad and allow people to walk all over you or dim your light or dull whatever. Like, you don't have to hold back your words or whatever the case may be. You can use your voice for positive and change, and just begin to enjoy life. It is possible to not be sad all the time and not be depressed, and just feel a joy and contentment and happiness. Feel those things on the inside. It's possible with doing the work that it takes. So I'm gonna end it there. but I hope that this helps somebody. That is my prayer, that this podcast will help somebody. Until next time, you guys, be blessed.